We're here in Rock Hill for one of the most important tournaments of the season. However, at this moment in the Carolinas, disc golf feels like an afterthought. Hurricane Helene has left countless people without loved ones in the places they call home. But in the wake of one of the largest disasters to ever hit this area, we are reminded of the importance of being united. It is through the care of our communities, our friends, and our families that life moves forward with the hope of a better future. As we play disc golf this weekend, we ask that you join us in creating a brighter tomorrow for Carolinians. The 2024 United States Disc Golf Championship starts now.
Hello and welcome to round one coverage of the 2024 United States Disc Golf Championship on JomezPro. We're here in Rock Hill, South Carolina at Winthrop University for the final major of the year. Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
I'm excited to call the action here, but I just got to reflect back on what we just saw there, that piece from the Jomez team and the beautiful narration from our buddy Brian. We saw some images from North Cove there, and that was obviously the place where I got married, and you guys were my groomsmen. And seeing what this storm has done to so many incredible places and childhood memory places for me and so many other North Carolinians, it's pretty devastating stuff. So please support that stuff. But on to the other thing that we've got going on here. We got the BigSexyBarri discs, bigger, sexier barrier, new molds from Discraft and Innova. Kind of a strange segue there, but we are very excited about this new release, as we are about this group that we get to watch today play the famous Winthrop Gold Course.
Yeah, Isaac Robinson coming off his world championship. What a week this could be for him to kind of cement himself as the major killer.
No doubt. Chris Dickerson, former champion. Kyle Klein, the reigning champion. Certainly different pressure for him stepping on hole one than he's probably ever had before at this event. Väinö Mäkelä, always a pleasure to watch him play. Very methodical with his game. Love his putt.
It's a matter of time before he gets one. Seeing Nicholas, his good buddy, get one, and he's kind of been the big star there for a long time right after Seppo, and now Nicholas is kind of overtaken him. There's some friendly competition right there. Right into hole one, though, par 3, 283 down the hill. Classic starting hole with the double Mando, and you got to calm the nerves because this takes some touch.
That log really added an interesting dynamic. As to these initial rocks, the high floor? Isn't that what you were calling
I
it?
think that's the right way to say it. Absolutely. So it's been a windy day.
Yeah.
I think dying down maybe a little bit late into the day.
How nice.
But there's going to be some wind to deal with out there on the course today. So that log leaves you about 55 feet, I would guess. Runnable, but sort of subtly dangerous.
It's just enough downhill that it keeps you really honest. If you give it a good run and you don't draw metal, you're going to find yourself near that 30-foot mark coming back.
When you have this right to left crosswind off the lake, which you got to hit it perfectly flat like that. That's really the only way to do it. If there's a little hyzer, it's getting lifted up towards that bush, and I think that's what we saw a lot of people struggle with on this hole today.
I know, choosing to go with the standstill. Pulls that right. Made the mandatory, though.
Yeah, must have, right? But not by a lot.
No, it's going to be an awkward approach. I didn't see it come out the other side of the bush, so that could be in a tricky spot.
This looks like he's drifting. Catches that tree.
And it was going to be way deep anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be more than likely just a layup. Väinö would love a 3 now.
That wind is kind of helping. You just got to clear the log.
Oh, it's a great angle. Be a good putt to make to start your major championship run. That was certainly not a layup from Kyle, and if it was not a good one.
Kind of nuts. I mean, what a bid from back there.
No doubt.
But you're exactly right about the 30 feet if you airball, because he's out there with a little bit of a headwinder now.
Just the ground is hard. It just runs. They just run on this green, it seems like. And yeah, that's a combination of nerves, I think a mistake, and also the wind just wreaking havoc.
He's a similar distance, probably coming back.
And who would have thought Väinö Mäkelä would be gaining a stroke on the reigning champion after those 2 tee shots?
This hole can sneak up and bite you real quick.
It's the most straightforward hole on the course. Unless you consider 17 straightforward. I mean, that's a whole different animal.
Yeah, a little shorter than I thought there. Makes it look pretty easy. Couple tap-ins.
Not how he imagined his
No.
title defense going. You know, he's probably been thinking about this round for a while. Got his ring last night at the opening ceremony. Got to join us up there on stage and enter that club of U.S. champions. And I'm sure he wanted to come out and make a statement. Now he's got to show us what he's made of. See if he can steady the ship a little bit here.
Yeah, let's not overlook that little scramble there from Väinö. That was fantastic.
It really was.
Look at the names of the top 3 guys, all former champions of this event. Barry Schultz, man, I tell you, that guy is the ageless wonder at times. He has been in the mix of this event into his 50s, and that's a pretty remarkable thing. I think there's one year where he would have won this thing in his 40s had it not been for an 8 on old hole 13. And yeah, he is just so smooth. He hasn't lost much. Same with Nate Doss. I mean, what a practice round guest he was this week.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's going to be fun to watch him play this week as well.
So hole 2 has this left-to-right crosswind. Going up the middle is going to help you a little if you can turn it over like this. But it's really tough to get it all the way to the hole. I mean, you got to trust the height, and with the OB so tight, it takes some courage to do that.
C2's that's a fine shot.
Yeah,
Just in the back edge.
Yeah, par on this hole is you're gaining probably strokes on the field. I don't know what the statistics say, but I can't imagine people are getting all crazy on this hole.
No, you're right. It's a 3.12 average.
Yep.
Hole 1, only a 296.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredibly high for a 283-foot hole.
It absolutely is.
Well, it's probably
And there's the ceiling getting in the way for Väinö's drive.
the only time where it's really lefty has almost an advantage on hole 1 with that crosswind. You know?
Yeah, coming off the lake for sure.
Yeah, typically you're definitely loving going backhand on hole 1, but forehand was a good play today.
This looks pretty wide. Is it going to skip or is it going to find the OB?
It finds the fence.
So
Gets glued to it.
We would imagine that's going to be out of bounds.
Yeah, that is definitely OB.
So
The OB line's like 6 feet off that fence, so it's significantly off that line.
So Kyle Klein is on red alert quick.
Yeah. And this upshot right here isn't the easiest. In practice, you're just like, oh, yeah, I'll just chip it up there. But then in the tournament, you're like, everything's really tight, kind of.
And it just seems like, in my head anyway, I'm just going, you're about to hit that big tree, aren't you?
Yep.
You're going to do it, aren't
You're
you?
about to throw it right in that big tree and have a 30-footer, aren't you? But you're scared of the OB on the right. You don't want it to skip left.
Yep.
And also, another thing, just like hole 1, this hard pan ground here, it likes to slide the discs.
Oh,
Chris.
yeah. No, come on.
No.
How is Chris Dickerson going to get a spit? If there's one guy that doesn't deserve a spit, this
look at
guy
this
guy
wobble.
modulates the speed. That's weird.
That must be
I
a
don't know that
stiff
I've
chain or
ever
something.
seen a Chris Dickerson spit.
Yeah, that's a rare sight right there. It looked like a really good putt. But again, when you have this type of wind, they don't like to stick in the same.
Chris just turns around. Oh, if you've seen that smile from Chris Dickerson, you've usually either said a really bad joke or you saw a spit out. It's one of the two.
So you've seen it a lot.
Yeah, I see it a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't get many spit outs.
Every round you play with him,
Oh, boy.
he just has that face on him.
It's a face you like to see. It's a pleasant little wry smile.
That's ridiculous. Come on, now.
That was
Give him that bird.
That was not cool.
Don't show me this again.
Oh boy, yeah, we had to blur out the face because it was.
It's a
It's too
big momentum. It's a big momentum killer because 1 under after 2 is you're ready to go. You've got a padded stroke coming into a few hard holes, and
this one.
being even is it's a lot different feeling.
And the way he did it, he's off the band from C1 on hole 1,
Yep.
and then dead center spit on hole 2 after a great drive. Like, you got to be a little bit like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
We got a new hole. We got a new tee pad.
yeah.
Same idea of the hole, but we're teeing off by this old house, and we got a little gap to this left side. There's also an over-the-top play that you might see some players choose, but the idea is still to get your drive way, way down there. I think to really have a good chance of birdieing this, you need to get your drive somewhere in the 480 to 500 range, I think is ideal.
I think it's a better hole.
Yeah.
Yes, I
agree.
think so too. It still is a tall task for the birdie, though. It takes a monumental drive and then a nearly just as good of an approach. A lot of people are just going to try to find a way.
This is cooked to the right.
And this is going into the woods. Chris is going to have himself an adventure over there. Playing for par is not a bad strategy on this hole at all.
You know, some people are just forced to because that's a big carry
Yeah,
to even get in
right.
position. I mean, this is
Uh-oh.
Don't go in
even
the
worse.
Early woods can be a problem.
Okay. It's going to be a well-earned par if he can make it happen from there. He's got almost no angle to get beyond the mandatory tree. If you've watched this coverage before from the USDGC, you'll know that there's a big tree up on the second shot right side that you're going to have to be working to the left of. If you're in that position, like Kyle, tucked in, short right, you really can't make progress around the mandatory. You can just kind of pitch up to it.
Kyle's drive, absolutely blistered. Super far.
Super far.
Absolutely no chance to get his next shot within 60 feet.
Yeah, forehand roller
Like-
insanity.
Yeah,
You know, it's
that
like-
would be the best possible way. One of the things Hurricane Helen brought in is a lot of water. They pumped over 9 million gallons of water out of the lake. Is that what you were telling me?
Yes, it's incredible.
And so the bottom of this ditch here is actually really soggy. Oh, wow. Are you serious
What a
with this?
guy.
Look at this shot. Flippy roller around the corner using the wind to his advantage. That's really the
That-
only time that works is if you have a raging left to right wind there.
That was fantastic.
That's next
Yeah.
level. So creative and technically difficult. That was an outrageous shot.
Well, I know he hit something coming out because I saw leaves fall down.
Yeah.
Chris is going to have some work cut out for him. He's also lining up the Isaac Robinson roller here.
I like it.
Oh no, this
he
is
hit
in
a
danger
root?
missing the Mando. With the new rules, this is in danger.
Yeah, that missed it.
And it does. It crawls back on the other side of the line.
So he has to go backwards. Almost.
Oh, Chris, don't tell me after what just happened on the last hole, he's going to wrap around the backside of a mandatory. That's Winthrop being naughty. So this is the drop zone.
Yep.
And that's not going to be the easiest putt.
And that's going to be for the double.
So this is sort of like a throwaway shot. Like, he can't really get anywhere closer to the basket. He just has to throw the simplest shot ever to set up a layup because there's no way to play any kind of aggression there.
Paul, you typically disagree with my suggestions. I think that this hole would be a little better if it was 15 feet up towards the gap. What
Well,
say you?
I say no, and the
Yeah,
reason why is
I'm
because
surprised by that.
we see the aggression going around the corner, and I think it really baits people into getting the birdie, which makes it a lot harder. I think people would play it a little less aggressive and make it boring.
Nice.
But it's a great
Pretty good
suggestion.
double bogey save.
What were you saying, Paul?
I said it was a great suggestion though.
You got to take that, Jerm. That's,
I'll take
you know,
it.
respectful disagreement. What more can you ask for?
Are we gonna see him throw roller? on it?
Why do I feel like forehands are just stupid after when I watch this guy play?
like for a
needs
long
it?
time, we thought forehands were the shot of the future. And so many people spent all this unnecessary time learning it and honing it and then, you know, becoming great with it. And then Isaac Robinson comes around and makes it just, why did we all do it?
Well, I think there was somebody even before him, and his name was James Conrad,
And
who
then
made
someone
it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Before him called Barry, and then someone before him
Ken.
called Ken Klima.
Yeah, Dave Feldberg.
Yeah, okay, so there's a lot of
Look at that
Nate
thing.
Doss.
Look at
Steve
that thing.
Brinster. Every champion
all
of
major
this.
champions. Yeah, well, whatever. What are you going to do? 3 for 3 star for Gavin Babcock. Hello.
Wow.
All right, hole 4. Ugh, I don't even want to. You guys do it.
Okay. Hole
Yeah.
4, par 3, 299. Dead straight all the way. We're playing to the longer basket for MPO. You got an early Mando on the left side, keeping you honest. You have to stay to the right. And the new addition this year, right before the tournament, tree in a box, right in the forehand escape route. So you got to go up the middle now.
Tree in a box.
Tree in a box, coming in.
Oh, hold that.
So close.
We'll take that, though. Progression up the fairway. You want to kick left. You do not want to kick right on this hole.
I'm disappointed that you just can't see any of the tree in a box from here. The fans are confused. That's nice.
What a shot. Slow down. Okay, that checks up inside the circle. Yeah, that's really close. Call it 25.
Just continues to sneak a little bit.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no visual at all of the tree in the box. It is perfectly in line with the tee and that mandatory, right where there's a fun gap that people would like to go if it was open.
Just take our word for it.
Good shot there from Chris. Gets out of the gap.
Wow, this turned out kind of great.
Way better. I mean, the depth of this hole is kicking right. Good effort provided there. If you kick right, there are some really awkward spots. Tough to save.
Tried to kind of die that one in there, it looked like.
Oh, no.
Well, those hurt.
Yeah, you can't let those ones get away out here.
Just the course of this event.
Oh, my goodness.
What? I didn't see any of this on any of the cards I was looking at or playing on. This card's getting the business right now. And the strange thing is the wind looks the calmest.
Yeah,
You know,
that
it's
was
like
brutal.
these don't look like they're wind aided. Those are just
ridiculous is what they are.
really, really weird. Huh. What I was gonna say was, you know, at Winthrop, I feel like you kind of get the option. You can either go out of bounds a few extra times than you'd like, and make all your putts, or you can keep it in bounds and you can miss a few putts, but you can't do both. Like that's just the kiss of death out here. You have to choose one of those mistakes. And if you're doing both of them, congratulations, you got Sunday off. Because this is going to be a 3-round cut, top 40%, make Sunday.
Looking at hole 5, the iconic hole 5, par 5, 1,025 feet. OB on the right side, obviously OB Lake. You have this one ditch that can come into play if you really get aggressive with a huge tee shot or a roller. There's a mandatory late that forces you to cross the water at some point. For most players, that's going to be shot 3. So you're going to look for big forehand or turnover on the first shot. I think the second shot is the most critical shot on the hole, as you really would like to keep it somewhat close to the water and shorten up that shot going across so you can try to be accurate and give yourself a shorter putt. Here is that big forehand from
Kind of a
Klein.
bomb.
It is, absolutely.
Nice angle. I like being low on this hill. What about you guys? I like being low. The reason why is it opens up the fairway. I don't have to take it out over the road on the right.
Well, low's great because the hill kind of runs away from you, and so you get that extra distance. If you throw it high, you just kind of crash where you would on a typical flat hill or flat field.
Yeah, I think for a forehand thrower, a little higher on the hill is nice because that one tree that's in the fairway, it does sort of hem you in if you're down near the water on the tee shot.
I thought you were talking about height of the release. You're talking about load like towards the water.
Yeah, your landing zone.
But, if you want a backhand
got
second,
you.
it makes a lot of sense to like it down by the water.
Okay.
Yes. I actually don't really care. Inbounds in this hole, and I'm happy with it. I mean, it's really easy to be inbounds in this hole, but I feel like the fairway gives you so many options regardless of where you land.
It's kind of like you used to care, but at this point in your career, you just over it.
A lot of things you lose care about it just over time.
Just kidding.
So Chris gets a little turnover up on the hill. That's going to be about 440 to 460 from the hole, and this one too.
Yeah.
So they're going to have big decisions because with this wind today, that carry is dicey.
Yes.
You get it over a little too much, that thing's dropping. You get a little hyzer on that, thing's hitting the fountain.
So he's looking to work this big hyzer back towards the water. Does a little bit of that.
Yeah, I still think you'd want, another 60?
Gosh, have you ever thrown your second shot on this hole and been able to say, I sure would like another 60? I just feel like no matter where I land. I know how far that is. That's about 380 from that little tree that he's near.
That was a great shot. So yeah, we're right on track with our numbers here.
Yeah, nice shot from Väinö.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be easy peasy.
And you see that a lot. You know, it's a pretty smart play. If you're at the edge of your range, just send it.
Yeah.
Get it over the water. Get it. You have all kinds of room back there.
This is a little bit more aggressive.
Absolutely.
But I like it.
It's nice and low. Shouldn't skip that big. That's fantastic.
Inside the circle.
Fantastic shot from Chris.
Scary putt from there.
But that's like the safest aggressive shot you could make.
Yeah.
Like it's a real golf shot right there. Not a lot of worry. Kept it flat. Slides it into the circle at the fat side of the green. You really can't do it any better.
Kyle a little bit wider. Hyzering in.
And that's not a fun putt.
That is a scary putt.
Even Chris's is scary, to be honest with you. But 40, 45.
Yeah.
It's certainly, you kind of feel like you probably have to give it a bid, but you got to be accurate.
With Chris's style of putt, I think it's certainly a lot safer. Kyle's putt from that range is kind of zippy, and he's already shown that he's a little bit shaky on the start. I don't think that he's going to lay up from that range, but he's got to be careful.
I think they all do. They're all right at that spot. Even Chris. Chris has to go for it. The other guys, you could forgive a layup.
Oh, totally.
But you're not going to see these.
You're not
guys
going to
lay
see it
up
happen,
first
but you
round, no. Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Wow.
I am shocked. I also applaud it, though. I mean, if you're out of your element, there's no need to throw away a stroke.
This one's either hitting that island or in the bucket.
That's the latter.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the latter.
Nice.
What a
Whatever.
putt.
Nice
Yeah, great
birdie.
putt.
Way to bounce back after, sometimes a spit out can make you question yourself, even though you've done nothing wrong. Isaac doesn't let it affect his confidence and delivers a nice one from C2.
Good putt.
Same
Drops
for
it
Chris.
right over.
Something good happened to Chris. Thank you.
That was a very well played third shot.
Gosh, they made us wait for something good to happen to that guy.
That two putt was bonkers. The slow flutter. Those don't spit.
Gannon Burr, 3 down through 5. Babcock there as well.
Introducing Disc Raptor, the best way to clean and dry your discs on the course. Make short work of mud, moisture, and dust in a quick spin. It's there when you need it. Welcome to the future of disc golf.
Hole 6, par 3, 371. Heading to the beach. This one is a backhand shot. If you want to play for birdie, if you're a right-hander, you need to throw a low kind of fairway over stability, take a little skip, try to find your way onto the sand, which has since been raked in very beautifully by the volunteers. The flooding kind of got rid of that, so they had to scramble and redo all of it. I think the hardest part about this hole is how much the OB pinches in from the right down by the basket. So once you have this kind of shot, you're a little bit worried that this is going to catch long grass.
And that just stays short.
That's kind of shocking.
I would have to assume that was intentional.
Really?
I mean, I would have never thought that, but the speed that was
It's weird, right?
moving at when it hit the
that
ground didn't seem like it had any chance of going farther. Like,
oh no,
this is just going to be in the basket.
No, good. I thought for sure.
Oh,
I was
wow.
worried that skip was too big.
Yeah, right away you look at this hyzer angle, and I was worried because it never got flat. Here you want to see it get flat, otherwise it's going to have action hitting that ground.
Absolutely.
And I thought it had no chance to stay in, so he played it perfectly.
Have we seen an ace on the island hole? I mean, on the beach hole?
We've seen it from like a dirty lens. You know what I mean? Somebody filming it from
Yeah.
like
Okay,
a ways.
It's happened.
Yeah.
Okay. I see so many shots do what Isaacs did right there, and I just don't remember an ace.
This is the same thing.
Yeah,
It's gotta
hit a tree, I think.
do what Isaacs just did.
Oh, wow.
And it did. Oh, no way. Those shots were the same.
Yeah, he just hit a little poofier sand.
Yeah.
That's it.
Incredible.
That's a tough break.
That is annoying.
I like the logs, though, on a shot like this that are a little bit raised that will generally save a shot that's coming in with pretty good speed. But a shot like Kyle's that was coming in a little bit quick, it's just going to kind of get over those.
Väinö shows by far the best shot on the hole.
Yes.
He does get it to flat, like Yuli's talking about, and you see how much slower. His just trickles down the hill. It's not coming in with that rocket skip. So this is where you go if you go out of bounds. Doesn't matter where.
And that's another tough putt to run with the height that you like. And our reigning champion is going to be 3 over through hole 6. And, I mean, the course doesn't get easier after this.
Yeah, and let's definitely point out that 3 over through 6 isn't a rare thing out here. We're not seeing some guy just
question.
completely blow up. A lot of the field right now is struggling. It is windy. It
I'll
is
say-
big time windy.
I'll agree with you that a lot of good players will find themselves at a score similar to that. I will say that I do believe it is rare for that person to be able to call themselves the defending
Oh,
champion.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
to be coming in with that kind of a round.
Yeah.
He's got to be beside himself with how this is going, with all the great memories. I
Yeah.
mean, don't forget, this guy's lost in a playoff. He's, what is he, 22 years old? He's already lost in a playoff to Paul Macbeth at this event and resilient enough to come back and claim the title for himself last year. So he's used to birdies and green numbers all over this
Yeah,
course.
that's a great point. Hole 7, par 3, 284 bamboo hole. Not much to it. You're a little bit raised on the tee, and then you got to make it right through here. If you don't do any of those things, you only have one other option that's a decent option, and that's lay it up short and pitch it through. Otherwise, you'll have to go to these little weird drop zones on side to side, depending on which part of the Mando you miss.
No, I don't think it matters. I
Oh,
think
really?
You can choose.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. Well, so then you just have the option of the little 2 Mandos.
Yeah.
Mando
That's
drop.
perfect.
Laser beam. Isaac Robinson likes birdies. More than
Bogeys.
us.
More than bogeys.
More than
that's for
bogeys.
sure. That's the perfect shot. See if Väinö can follow the line. Uh-oh. This is not good.
Maybe it checks up early.
Don't believe so.
I don't know. It's going to be close.
Oh,
Thumbs up. Flick roller coming.
that's another one, like Chris is on the last, where you're like, you missed your line and you missed your power by so much
Congratulations.
that it works.
The double screw up it's a hard thing to do, but
Sometimes it's better than the single.
single screw up is really bad.
Kyle needs this
Yeah,
in the
Yeah,
worst way.
He
This would be a
really
big one.
does. Needs to drop, needs to hyzer.
They never just.
Good
Well, it's a
kick.
good kick.
Oh, bad
That's
kick.
a bad roll. Good kick, bad roll. Those two things can be both true.
Oh, so he is at the
Okay.
drop zone.
Okay.
Yep. back in the day, you used to be able to get on top of this Mando structure, and I've seen people putt through by putting their arm through and putting. Do you remember those days?
Yeah, well, that was when look at this first off. Good effort from Kyle. Well, that was when the bamboo was, it wasn't a triple mandatory. It wasn't a mandatory at all, actually. It was just 2 really tall walls of bamboo, and a lot of forehand spike hyzers would come in. I believe Nate Sexton one time aced it over the bamboo wall. And at that time, it didn't really matter that you had to go through the mandatory, so there was no horizontal bars through the bamboo, and so people would reach their hand through and just do a little spinner. I don't think I ever saw anyone make it, but it was
saw a lot of tries.
Yeah, saw a lot of attempts, a lot of fails too. I think it's a much better hole than that. I mean, I don't think anyone that's watching this, maybe a small percentage of us, remember the original bamboo wall. Most of us just know it as it is now in triple mandatory, which is a better hole.
Certainly strikes a little more fear into the heart of the player.
No question.
With having to hit that gate or basically making bogey.
Hole 8, same as it's been in the years past. You got the OB on the left side, OB right up the hill. It's a good forehand play or a straight down the middle shot. From there, it's going to be a backhand roller or a forehand skip shot from the bottom of the hill. Just try to get it to sit on this slope up on the green. This is a tough birdie to get. Isaac's going to show us the hyzer line. And
it's lucky, it looks like.
Yeah.
Well, was it lucky?
It needs to sit.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
I don't know what shot he's going to go for from there because the backhand roller is going to be a bit cut off, but he still might try to lay it down.
That will be tricky. He's not going to be able to swing it wide like you would like to because he's going to be under some overhanging bushes. Chris goes forehand. That's a nice spot to be. If he can repeat that shot almost exactly the same, maybe a little flatter, he's going to be in position to have a birdie putt.
Seems like he might be a little short, no?
A little, because he did have a lot of hyzer on
Yeah.
it. That's why I think he'd need to throw it flatter if he was going to get there on the next one.
Maybe roller coming
He
up.
could certainly do
Yeah.
roller.
He's got a good roller angle, that's for sure. Kyle in a good position with his forehand. And Väinö getting a weird roll a reaction off the ground.
I got to imagine these are all going to be rollers. Looks like a great angle to me.
It's going to wrap up the hill a bit, but hey, that's fine.
That's the most common miss with that roller shot, I would say. A little bit of early turn can get you caught up with those bushes. He's going to have a bit of a long look at it, though.
Another roller.
Isaac's going to have to bring this high up the hill.
Yeah, and then heavy
bring it
cut
back
and
down.
then quick flip. Like, it's asking a lot.
Yeah, it is. It's a tall task. And that ended up in a pretty awkward little spot. It's going to be a tricky up and down.
This is about the perfect angle, one would think.
You want to cut it off the hill. Like this.
Over.
That's
Yeah,
so
almost.
good. No, this is it.
Oh, he did it. Yeah, okay.
Because of the cut.
Slow
oh,
down.
Wow.
Wow.
But you see what I mean? Once it gets on that hill, if it's cutting down, that's what you're looking for. Otherwise, it's going to burn into the fence or cut up the hill. Nice cut on this one, too.
And a little bit more understable, I think, coming into the green. It's going to go a little bit long now.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
circle's edge.
And that bush has been limbed up pretty significantly.
Thank goodness, honestly. That was a brutal limb to be behind. If you've thrown 2 shots and that tree is obstructing, that means you've thrown 2 really good throws. Yeah, you can see it there. If you don't have the comfort of throwing a forehand putter or mid-range through that gap, you're going to have a tricky time getting up and down from that spot.
I was talking with Adam Hammis today, and he said he played with Barry Schultz, and he ended up in that spot kind of where Isaac was, and he was like, he played a intentional bounce in between the pole and the wall and rode the wall 3 times up and bullseyed it.
That's awesome.
Like a nose up air bounce into the wall, rode the wall. I'm like, that's classic Barry
just
right there.
Veteran play, dude.
Yeah.
All the way. All right, to save par, Isaac Robinson.
Jeez.
That boy good. That boy real good. That was
Wasn't
a
a-
sick putt.
Wasn't a lot of doubt on that one.
Yeah. When it's the right height and just zipping towards the middle, you
You get a
tend
warm,
to-
fuzzy feeling.
tend to think it might go in.
You just get that warm, fuzzy feeling.
All right, Kyle's got the window here to get off the Schneid.
Yes. Finally.
What a great birdie to end the bad streak, too.
Yeah, that's great. Love to see it for him. Can
And to
maybe,
hit that cool window, too. That was sweet.
maybe start building something here.
Flag not moving that much, but Chris still taking his time.
He's deliberate. He knows what he wants to do. He sticks to his routine. Another player I think of that does that very well, Kale Visca, doesn't rush any of the short putts. No harm in taking some extra time. If it doesn't get in your head, then might as well repeat the same thing that you do for your 40-footers as you do with your 18-footers.
Yeah, I like the saying, take as much time as you'd like, just don't take my time.
Adam Hammis, speaking of, 5 under through 8, leader. Fans of the show will remember Tree in a Box. There are 4 early and 2 late here on hole 9. You're going to need to get inbounds over this rock wall, actually about a meter over it, to find yourself in. There's also a string line very close on the backside, as you can see right there at the bushes. If you're OB, you're going to a very, very difficult 50-footer, kind of obstructed 50-footer. So it's kind of a capped at bogey unless you really get crazy, which is strangely friendly of the USDGC crew, I would say. Usually most holes. Oh, wow.
What in the heck?
Never seen that before.
Oh my gosh.
All I needed was one birdie, and here he comes.
That was so cool.
That was awesome.
I've never seen anything like that before. I've been doing this for a minute.
But don't you think this hole is interestingly
Yeah.
like in the history of USDGC? Like there always is a way to explode, and this one kind of takes it easy on you and goes,
Yep.
"Yeah, you can bogey it, but you'd have to be a little nuts to get any worse than that."
I'm just still wrapping my head around.
That was amazing.
The ultra super bullseye.
Yeah,
That was cool. Yeah, I always thought that eventually I like this iteration of 9. This is probably the hole that's changed the most over the years at Winthrop.
yes,
I kind of thought that I like this iteration, but I kind of figured they would give us like a 200-foot drop zone.
Yeah.
Something that would kind of make you squirm a bit. But they like giving you that little tricky putt. And I actually think 5 does come into play. If you want to go for that
Sure.
par save,
Sure.
you can find yourself at the back edge of the circle putting for your bogey quick.
yeah. There will certainly be 5s.
We got a little charity bid here if we're lucky. We just need a nice putt from Isaac right here.
Those are all really great drives.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. I think the chances are good. Both Väinö and Chris are sitting just a step outside bullseye.
This one with the Winthrop top of the basket there. Kind of nice. The Eagles.
Hole 9 always being right here in front of the Chancellor's Mansion. Also right next to the Winthrop Eagles, Golden Eagles baseball field.
Well, this is going to be a rare thing, I think, right here, if you can make this.
Not just on this hole, but on the entire
Everywhere.
course.
Yeah,
The only hole that I think could be, star framed routinely would be the next hole.
You're right.
Just because the eagle comes in play, but you don't see too many star frames at Winthrop Gold. Good stuff.
All right. Check out that leaderboard. Adam
Wow.
does come through with another birdie to get to 6 under through 9. That's your early pace. His good friend Anthony Barella right there behind him. And then it drops to a trio of players at 4, and then the rest of the world back there doing the best they can.
Yeah, I mean, 2 under right now gets you in 12th place. That's really good. You just pop a little 4 under. That's telling me today you're not going to be out of the tournament. So these guys have room. The guys especially struggling, like Kyle. He can put together some miraculous back 9, get back to 2, 3 under par. he's not going to be completely out of it.
Yeah, this course today is brutal. So that 6 under for Adam Hannes really sticks out, but it's going to be tough to hold on to your round. There's no round that's ever safe out here at any point. Danger looms around every corner, so it'll be an exciting event for all 4 rounds. This next 9 will be fun to see in the wind.